to get both of these guys out the way again and move on to the big one. That's the main thing I want. I'm so close to unifying the division. I became close many a times, but in this instant and moment in time, I'm even more closer because Ruiz is a part of my stable as well. So,
well, I saw pictures of you with him. He seemed like he's a decent guy. He's a nice guy. He's an honest guy. He's a family guy. Have you and him had a chat about the two of you fighting at some point?
Well, not personally, but as you can see, Ray Mancini, he poked at it, and Chris Myers, been on the network. They poked at it a little bit and stuff like that, and that was like the first discussion I ever had about it, with him or with anyone in person. People already know my energy. I'm ready to go. I've been talking about this. This is the moment I've been waiting for. So you don't have to ask me. I'm ready. I'm just waiting on that opportunity. I'm waiting on that date and that time. And right now we got obstacles in front of us, but when it all clears, it's a straight path right to it.
What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Deontay Wilder. I was letting you guys listen to a segment that he had on BT Sports Boxing, and it was actually in-depth interview with the Bronze Bomber, and he was explaining his obstacles in life and his choices of fighters and, the obstacles and the challenges of fighting, Fury and then Luis Ortiz and the things he had to go through when he got out of the Olympics. It was very informative, and I wanted to share it with you guys. I'll let you guys hear a segment of this interview because that's what I want to discuss. Deontay Wilder, he mentioned unification. He said he came close to unification many, many times. Now, I pay attention to what people say and how they say it. He said that he came close to unification many times. And he says that Andy Ruiz is in my stable. Okay? And I thought about it. I said, okay, Andy Ruiz is in my stable. That's a difference between saying Andy Ruiz is in my stable versus Andy Ruiz is in the same stable that I'm in. He's in my stable. Like, you own the stable of fighters. Like, he's talking as though he's a promoter or he is the king or the top of that stable. So either way you look at it, it's either if you're including yourself in the stable that you're referring to, that means that either you're the top of the stable or the head of the stable, or you own the stable which Ruiz is in. I remember, if we can recall, Ruiz saying, we're on the same team. So that goes hand in hand with what Deontay Wilder's saying, but he went a step further and said, well, hey, he's in my stable. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, what does he mean by that exactly? Maybe they're just a PBC stable. Okay. Al Heyman. He mentioned unification. And he's been close many times. Okay. Well, there's a difference between unification and undisputed. You notice he didn't say undisputed. That's a difference. Undisputed means you have every belt in that weight class. Terrence Bud Crawford, Alexander Usyk, those guys, right? Those are two examples of undisputed. He said unified. And he said there were many times that he came close to unification. And my question is, when? When did that ever come close? Meaning maybe the fights maybe fights, negotiations we didn't know about possibly. But as far as I know, I'd never seen Deontay Wilder fight for unification. He came close to undisputed because just so happened Joshua had the rest of the belts because he had picked up those belts in the heavyweight division, one way or the other. Deontay Wilder is the longest reigning champ. And any of these times in the last 4 years, we haven't seen any really true commitment of him trying to unify. He could have unified with Charles Martin. We didn't see that happen. He wasn't allowed to fight Klitschko. We know that to be a fact. So Fury went on to fight Klitschko and beat Klitschko. So my question is, where did he try to unify? You know, I guess if he was, maybe he's responding or to the negotiations that failed between him and Joshua, because that would definitely be for undisputed, meaning that's every belt. But he said unified. Maybe he meant unified. I'm not sure. But to really cap this all off, you know, Wilder is claiming to either own a stable or to be the top of the stable. You know, he's regarded as the baddest man on the planet. You know, I feel that if you have that type of mentality, or you label yourself as the baddest man on the planet, you better start acting like the baddest man on the planet. You know, fighting the top guys. He's fought Fury. He never fought Joshua. They somehow fell through again. You know, and my question is, whose fault do you blame that on? I know the energy. I know the reaction. I know all the stank and the criticizing that Joshua took for this $1 million. Okay? The $50 million was, they put him on blast. They were like, oh man, that's $50 million. Well, they offered Wilder twice as much and he didn't take it. Well, those same people were quiet. Mind you, quiet. And now Wilder is saying, hey, I've been ready for this fight. And he's just waiting for his time. So the question is now, how will you think Deontay Wilder will react and respond to a unification with Ruiz if Ruiz beats him? You know? I wonder about that, you know? But this was a good interview because he told a lot, and he explained that how he started from the bottom and he had to work himself up, and he had to strategize and plan and prepare for a long time, you know? So these 11 years he's been planning and preparing for where he is today. Okay, so anyway, I just found it very interesting, this interview. You know, maybe you guys can tell me your insight on what you feel he meant by Ruiz being in my stable. I think he needs to clarify, you know what I mean? But anyway, I'll leave the link below in the description. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.